Wait, we're gonna do the thing. Hi, people. Niner here. Welcome. Today we are gonna watch the newest Sseth video come out from 1 day ago. Maybe when you watch it, it will not be from 1 day ago. It's called the Pathologic 3 Review Mania Edition. I have not heard about this game. I have not seen this game before, but let's see what's in here today.
Hey people, Sseth here.
Hey,
Pathologic Free is a game about trading walnut shells for opium with a gang
Yo!
of preschoolers.
You trade your balls for wait. You trade your balls for drug. Why did I call drug the rock? I mean, the rock can be drug, right?
Arguing eugenics with rats and upholding your Hippocratic oath. Despite the number, this is the best entry point to the series. You don't need prior experience or to play the previous titles to understand the contents, which is a blessing because I have. You play as Daniil Dankovsky, Bachelor of Medicine and proprietor of Fanatica.
Oh, we are like a doctor or something? Oh, that's why we deal with drugs in video game.
Soviet Institute researching the phenomena of death and its reversal. Funding has run out, and your last hope is a letter describing the existence of an immortal man, Simon Kane, living in a remote town on the steppe. Translation: this game takes place in Kazakhstan. However, upon arrival, you're informed.
What did I just say?
Steppe. Translation.
What did I just see? What is it saying? Is that a fish, man? Quiet, both of you. You know nothing. Both to rock can die only from gloom. We can cheer him up, feed him, and show him our joy. We will bring the last oral truth to his bosom. Then he will remember us and return to us. What? Is this a pet we have? Oh, it's like a doctor fighting a plague plot and in a Soviet setting. Oh, I see.
This game takes place in Kazakhstan. However, upon arrival, you're informed of his murder. To make matters worse, a mysterious plague is broken out. The trains have stopped, and there's no way out.
Oh no. Oh no, they're burning.
Then you're jumped to the present, being interrogated in the capital. You stand accused of leaving the town for dead, for fleeing from your doctorly duties. But you didn't. Or you did, until you went back and changed that key. Past, present, and future aren't a line, but a liquid. Their order doesn't matter. Only your choices and actions. This is a young doctor's notebook by Bulgakov, except it's a psychological horror where you're responsible for the lives of 8.
Okay, I just said maybe I will not play the games Sseth recommend because sometimes they get very complicated, okay? Like Space Marine, what? Oh, I cannot English today. Space Station 13. It was very complicated, but this one seems easier, and I like psychological horror. I love psychological horror.
18,000 townspeople and kin in a backwater culture with strange customs, who will antagonize and hinder your efforts every step of the way. As you listen to the soothing sounds of Mongolian throat singing, dealing with a plague is the least of your problems. Dealing with people, and suddenly it's like you're watching body cam footage. I have to tell these apes to stand down before they realize I don't have anything in the chamber.
He's out of ammo.
Or do I? And all this while you deal with the greatest problem.
It's all about that mental game.
With his glass bones and paper skin, Daniil has the constitution of a hummingbird. A little too much excitement. He becomes manic, and his tiny heart just can't keep up.
How?
But if an orphan calls him Unk and says he's getting a Norwood 7 in the next 4 years, he begins to load his suicide revolver. To summarize our protagonist's entire ethos: if you bully me, I'll kill myself. Every moment is a battle against apathy.
I mean, you are in the Soviet time, man. That's understandable. I feel you there.
Get a little too sad, upset, or annoyed, and suddenly you're fighting intrusive thoughts with a gun in your mouth. But death is the beginning. Our failures on the 5th marked the end, and we're not satisfied with the conclusion, so we're going to rewrite the whole thing. Time is essential, precious, and fleeting, until we wind the clocks back and
he can time rewind. Cheating.
Realize each day is infinite. After all, the cathedral generates time. How can we ever run out? Each day is a set of impossible tasks. To succeed in one means to fail the rest. For example, one of my last remaining leads is currently being buried alive. If I don't dig him out, he'll suffocate in a few hours. But if I do, I'll miss the distribution of contaminated spring water and the diagnosis of several key patients. So I hold on to my success and shatter my failures. The day repeats, and to the testimony of all witnesses, Dankovsky was here. Mirrored.
I get it. Some time and events are simultaneous. Time and events are simultaneous. Oh, simultaneously happening. So if you pick one event, you might miss out on the other event, and if you wanna 100% complete this game, you might have to do a very long gameplay, or just give up on certain things. Oh, grindy game.
Steal your time and reflection, so be sure to break any you see. As a physician, diagnosis makes for one of the most interesting and frustrating aspects of your job. That's because, more often than not, a patient is lying to you, to themselves, or both at the same time. We begin with what we can trust, physical examination and microscopic biopsy analysis. From there, we question the patient, investigate their surroundings, and get secondhand information from friends and family. And if they don't have any of those, we ask the homeless. Each time you tick off a symptom, your casebook draws closer to a likely conclusion. Sometimes the obvious answer is a red herring, and you have to dig deeper for the truth.
I see.
Symptoms may be present and unrelated, dormant or absent, depending on the progression of disease. Correct diagnosis is critical, as it lets us formulate a provisional vaccine for the day. This isn't the first time.
Maybe we can actually learn some medical terms and doctor things from playing this game. Educational.
The town has dealt with a plague. 5 years ago, the sand pest made its first appearance, which was swiftly contained by a quarantine and burning everyone alive. Unfortunately, the town physician responsible for containing the epidemic, Isidore Burach, has also been murdered on the exact same day as Simon. However, we aren't entirely defenseless. We brought an experimental prototype from the capital, a device that manipulates air pressure to disperse microbial particles. Hold down, charge, and release.
19?
Essentially, this is an industrial aerosol disinfectant. But we're in the middle of nowhere, so we have to settle for loading it with digestive bile from a cow's liver.
Are we making poison?
The good news is that we can traverse infected districts. The bad news is that we're going insane. Shabnak Adig, step demon and manifestation of a plague.
What did he say? Did he speak Russian there, or did he say shove something in my dick? Wait, what?
Is that we're going insane. Shabnak Adig, step
What does that mean?
demon and manifestation of a plague, has taken a fascination with us. She is death. You're the killer of death, and she's pursuing a toxic relationship. It's not a case of you're bad for each other. She is a golem made of sand and bone, and she's going to tear you apart. The prototype can only temporarily delay her, but like a moth to flame, she's easily distractible. But we can't run forever. Each site of infection contains a bloom,
She like pretty candle.
cluster of dormant plague. When stimulated by a caustic agent, it becomes active and exhibits autophagy against other sand-past cells. By loading our prototype with a sample, we can fire it directly at Shabnak. You get a single shot at this, so try not to miss. Provided you didn't fumble it, she cannibalizes herself, which slows the outbreak for a day. And tomorrow, she'll remember what you did. Ever since Pathologic 2, the mind map keeps us from aimless wandering. Each time we travel between districts, we have to plot a course. If they're safe, we can pass through automatically, but cross any district that's infected or rioting, and we have to reach the exit ourselves. Personally, I prefer death by ancient bacteria over the raping intent of country bandits. Wherever Dankovsky goes, the sound of clapping follows, but it's not his hands that make the orchestra. After establishing
Why is the bulge? Did you all see the bulge on that animation? And anyway, I can see your balls from the back. Anyway.
sound of clapping follows, but it's not his hands that make the orchestra. After establishing a field hospital, the ruling families give you authority to enact emergency decrees. This is often a balancing act, as many of the measures you take to decrease contagion increase unrest. You get to witness the effects of your policies firsthand, as your enforcers misinterpret routine inspection for board up their doors and windows, kill them if they try to leave. There's a Turkish proverb, feed the orphan today, and in return, he'll sodomize you tomorrow. Don't expect gratitude. You can't save them all. The town collapses after day 5. That's expect gratitude. You can't save them all. The town collapses after day 5. That's why, initially, we can't go to day 6, because it doesn't exist. That's why we make the decrees. Through our actions, the future has become longer. Traveling to the future requires that the sandpast has not reached a critical point of no return, as seen by the red line on the chart. Basically, we're safe-scumming each possibility until we reach the desired outcome. The powers that be are replaced by the capital. They're outside of a story, and you're actively arguing your case with interrogators sent to destroy you. You can even meet the inspector on day 4 and coax out answers to his strategy. He introduces himself as a dog catcher. In his own words, when
Is a what? A dog catcher?
answers to his strategy, he introduces himself as a
What does a dog catcher mean? I thought we are in Russia. Why? There been a lot of them around lately. You know, my job is to catch them and train them. Oh, sorry. God, my bad. My brain immediately went to like you catch the dog and do other things. Okay, sorry. My bad. Okay. Catch the stray dog. Okay. And train them. Yep.
a dog catcher. In his own words, when he puts on the leash, they struggle so furiously they get into a loop. These loops are dead ends in your reasoning chain, paradoxes and contradictions that have to be rewritten to escape. If we calm down and refuse to struggle, he can't win. We can't influence the outcome without starting the day, but to start the day, we have to convince him of its relevance. For this reason, we dispel his immediate accusations. Then, as the story changes, so does the relevance of what came before and after. You've probably realized by now, there's a lot of dialogue. It's
Yes,
not
there
just
is.
verbose and flowery, it's a lot of sophistry. And it goes both ways, because
There is a lot of reading, and maybe you have to do personal research as well. Seems complicated. Now I can feel it. Seems very difficult. Also, Pathologic games are famously difficult. 2 and 3 are. 1 is just boring. Oh man. Just one game, I thought I can get to play it.
Dankovsky will randomly spout Latin, not even complicated Latin. Instead of saying, "You made a mistake," this man will say, "Errare humanum est."
How the
Replace
frick-
it with Japanese and you'll understand. A
No.
patient complains that they're dying. He responds with, "Naruhodo." We're talking weeaboo levels of Latin. Ever since Mandalore pointed this out, I'm led to believe the town doesn't distrust him. They just think he's a neurodivergent savant.
Oh my
as
God.
he garbles out, "Watashi wa daniro desu." Ikuzo! To a group of blank-faced schoolchildren. On the other hand, this is a man who runs around town like Sonic the Hedgehog while scoping out trash with his Witcher vision, which he
Yeah, more balls.
stores inside clocks for safekeeping.
More nuts.
The signs were already there. We simply ignored the diagnosis. I could spoil the entire plot of a series and lay out every detail, and you would come back just as confused. Without knowing, there's no understanding. Thus, I don't need you to understand my actions.
The mother of all weapons. Brighter than the sun.
Oh. Oh.
Pathologic is avant-garde if you're sued, puzzling if you're goy cattle, and mundane if you knew it already. Playing Pathologic 1 feels like being mugged, repeatedly, forever, and I don't wish this on anyone. Pathologic 2 became an actual game, and free is the most polished experience this company has ever made. They say, write what you know.
Pretty.
In the case of modern media, this is living in Seattle and receiving the gift. Then, from the Slavosphere,
Still, who the frick is that fishman?
this is living in Seattle and receiving the gift. Then, from the
Like, what is this creature? Is this like a monster?
Slavosphere, it's a bunch of esoteric hallucinations from a lack of sunlight. Combine this with Second Temple Talmudic rabbinical teachings, read a little bit of a Kabbalah, sprinkle in some Gnosticism, and see what comes out. It's probably one of the better artsy games out there. But the problem is that the art crowd has AIDS and wants a walking simulator with no difficulty. So they can write a 5-hour video
Oh, it's a little cow plushie.
essay
Is that a cow rock?
about how Olgimsky is fat and lives in the gut district, and his large, matronly body is a metaphor for, like, consumption. The difficulty
Sure.
sneaks up on you. Amalgam isn't infinite, and like menopause, you'll eventually run dry. Each day has a finite set of temporal resources that can't be brought over. However, nicotine tolerance is permanent, as your 6 milligram menthol zins will gradually
Yeah.
lose their potency. Being outside of time has its consequences, because the drugs are wearing off. There's some rough edges, which I'm told they're working on.
But aren't we the doctor? Why can't we just get more drugs?
The UI isn't final. Quick slots break, some voiceovers and text strings are missing, and once I talked to an NPC and got jump scared
Oh,
by
no.
Cyrillic. In summary, philosophers need to be sent to a foreign penal colony where they can't bother the rest of us. I thoroughly recommend it. The game is available on Steam with a 20% launch discount.
Literally launched yesterday? Oh, wow. Oh, okay. He posted the video on the day the game launched. Wow, okay.
And for the rest, just watch my other videos.
Nice. Surprisingly pleasant short video. I want it to be 30 minutes. I keep saying this. I want his video to be longer because I think they're funny.